Thursday, April 28th, 2016, and this is the trade idea for the day. As mentioned yesterday on my video, I was mentioning that I thought that equity prices would be at, or indexes would be at new all-time highs going into FOMC. It looks like we're trying to get the swing through that right now. But what I'm seeing is that a lot of these recent swings that we're having, in this case, this is Church and Dwight. You're not having as much money flow come into it. So it basically, what it's telling me is the onesie twosies are chasing after it. And here's the unbalanced volume. They're basically hitting the market button. So a lot of these trades are going against the grain, okay? But what it is it's a setup for you guys. I know a lot of you want, click, click, click right now, but some of these things have to set up. What's going to happen here is, as this right now, Church and Dwight on a daily basis here came off of pivot today, and now it's working at R1. Okay, and so R1 is 93.33 and R2 is 94.48. Okay, so 94.48 gets us back into this area of resistance. I expect, we're at R1, so I expect some selling to happen here, okay? And what will happen is, if it doesn't work out, the people will actually have to cover and push it through this area, which would be up to R2 on a daily, going back to that chart. Okay, so R2 up here is the 48. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to put in an alarm at 91.35, 93.33, which will be tagged all day long, and then 94.48. Here you can see the money flow. People actually got out of it when the sideways. That's usually what happens. It bothers humans to go sideways, but the best thing about sideways is that a breakout occurs. Once something goes sideways, it's either going to go up or down. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is that this is one less swing higher, and then because a lot of this is coming on lower volume and lower money flow, there's nothing to support it if it falls. Okay, so a few of these things are going to vacuum, just like you saw with Apple and Netflix and things of that nature. But this is a setup to get ahead of time. For intensive purposes today, I'll put down 93.20. We'll look at it here in a second, what the current price is. Put that down, but for me, what I would look at is I would be looking at shorting at R2 on a daily basis, and then ultimately I'm looking for something above 96, 97 up in here, because I think it's gonna swing up on lower volume. There's nothing going to support it, and then it's going to come back down, and that's right here. This red line is on a weekly, and that would be your stop if you were long. Okay, just move this up at like to the previous week's low once the high is reached. So once this high, the 94.95 is cleared, then you'd move your stop up one. As you can see, volume's dropping. RSI is should get one more swing into it here, but on balance volume, they're not getting the support that they needed, like you saw up in here. And then you can see the money flow, how they got out of it here, and now they're in it here. But when we looked at the shorter, there's fewer people getting into this. The bigger, smarter money is not so convinced on this one. They don't. It's a lot of these stocks have moved a great deal, so adding up here doesn't make sense for them. Okay, and we'll take a look now at current prices here. This is on a daily. This is Eastern time, so 93.14, and then on a weekly, once again. But like I said, for intensive purposes, whatever, 93.12. I'll put down on here 93.12, and then take a look at it next week. Like I said yesterday's video, I do one tip a day. I revisit it the following week. If it moves 5 or 6%, I usually move that up. Some of them I do suggest 3 times, and leveraged ETNs. And so if they move quick, a big percentage, I'll resurface those. And I'll be posting a revisit of Google short from last week. So thank you again for watching the video, and have yourself a wonderful day.